dear friend. Wait, don't miss this video. If you are watching it right now, it means you are already a part of something amazing. Before anything happens, subscribe to this channel. Seriously, just one tap. Done. Good. Stay till the end. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next.
My friend met a guy on Tinder and went on a few dates with him for about a month. One day, she decided after a date to finally invite him to her house for a drink. During these drinks, she started feeling some weird vibes from him, so when it was time to go to bed, she asked him if he would be okay with sleeping on the couch in the living room. He said yes. For some reason, she decided to lock her bedroom. She's always been a little bit paranoid, and then she went to sleep. In the middle of the night, she heard her door handle move. She woke up and asked him, "Are you okay?" thinking maybe he was looking for the bathroom, and he didn't answer. She got very spooked and called the police. The police arrived, and she warily opened the door and told them he was in the living room. A police officer went into the living room down the hall and came back. He got on his walkie-talkie immediately and told her not to go into the living room. Apparently, there was a bunch of knives in the living room floor and plastic over some of the furniture. Had she not locked the door, she would probably be dead. Always trust your gut
Holy
instincts.
fuck, that's one of the craziest stories we've had in this pod if it's real.
Mental.
I'm at the Austin airport right now, which reminds me of the last time I was here, and I have to tell you another Austin dating horror story. This one might even be worse than Soapman. So, last time I'm here, just a few weeks ago, I'm boarding my Southwest flight. I look, the guy next to me, oh my gosh, it's this guy I've gone on a few dates with, but years ago. The reason I stopped going on dates with him was because we went out of town together. We went on a trip with his friends out of state. And when we were on this trip, one night we go out, we're having lots of fun. We get in the Uber to leave. The guys are in the middle row. The girls are in the third row. I am in the third row. I am in the middle seat. A girl is on this side of me and a girl is on this side of me. Both girls are asleep on each of my shoulders. The guy I'm talking to is sitting diagonally in front of me. He looks back at me at one point. We make eye contact. At least I thought that we made eye contact. I made eye contact with him, but he did not see that my eyes were open. Looking back, I think that he thought I was asleep because the next thing he did, I kid you not, was turn to the guy next to him, grab his face, and start making out with him. I was stranded on this trip with this guy for a few more days after this happened. So, a few weeks ago was the first time I had seen this man in years since this happened. We end up getting stuck next to each other on a flight to Colorado because he asked me if I wanted to sit by him, and I'm too awkward to just say no. And yeah, it was terrible.
Oh yeah, one more thing. If y'all see me on Love Island, mind your fucking business, bitch. I'm trying to find love, bitch. Y'all had y'all motherfucking chance.
You guys, this is the craziest story I have ever heard. I just have to share this, and this is why you have to be careful when you hook up with people when you're traveling to a foreign country. So this girl, I'm just gonna call her Natalie. I'll just use my name. So Natalie was traveling to, I don't want to say the name of the country, but she traveled overseas from America. And she was in this country for only a few days, and she ended up meeting this guy at a bar. We're gonna call him Sam. So Sam and Natalie headed off, and they go to multiple dinners together, where I was told that Natalie said that he was constantly feeding her like an insane amount of food at each dinner. It was her last night with Sam, and she still hadn't gone back to his place. And he was really adamant about her coming back home with him. And he kept asking her at dinner, like, "Oh, you're gonna come back home, right? You're gonna come back home with me, like you leave tomorrow." Natalie got a little bit creeped out by it. Ended up calling her sister because her and her sister were on the trip together, and she left the dinner. She didn't go back. She's like, "Oh, my sister needs me. I gotta go." Blah blah blah. And she said like Sam was blowing up her phone. Anyways, she gets on her flight, she goes back to the United States, and she develops, I can't even say it, she develops a rash on her back. So she goes to the dermatologist, told her dermatologist, "Hey, like I just came back from this country, like I developed this rash, not sure what this is, test for it, and then, you know, let me know what comes back." So she was on campus when she got the call from her dermatologist, and her dermatologist was like, why am I saying it like that? Her dermatologist was like, "Call me right now." So her derm calls her, and she's like, "What are you doing? I need you to come to the office right now. Police are gonna be here." And she's like, "What's going on?" And she's like, "Come, I can't say it over the phone." So the girl comes to the dermatologist's office, and it wasn't even the police, it was FBI. Turns out that the rash that was on her back was actually a cream that was put that's used for cannibalism. Well, the FBI ended up asking her, like, "Who have you met with in the last 6 months?" She told them about the guy. FBI ends up working with the police in that country. They raid the guy's apartment, and they found multiple skulls and limbs that belonged to several women that were missing. And he fully intended on killing her and eating her. Apparently, like, that's the reason why he was taking her to dinner and trying to really get her fool. He just, I don't even know. Just be careful out there when it comes to hooking up with people, because you never know, you know? You never know.
What happened to your eye? I just have really bad hay fever, so they go a bit bloodshot and swollen sometimes. The pollen this year is just absolutely wild.
This is why I deleted my Tinder and why every single girl watching this needs to delete her Tinder too. This happened a few years ago, and I honestly consider myself so incredibly lucky to be alive after experiencing this. I was living in New York City at the time, and I matched with a guy. For the entire time we were talking, he was really aggressively trying to get me to go out with him. And eventually I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna let this guy take me out on a date. And maybe I'm just being judgmental. Maybe he's not being desperate. Maybe he's just putting in an effort. So the day of the date rolls around, and he tells me that he wants to take me out to a restaurant that is a bit of a hidden gem and is a little bit outside of the city in an area of Westchester called Yonkers. And even though he offered to drive me, I was like, no, it's all good. I actually had my own car in New York City, so I agreed to meet up with him. Now, I feel like an absolute idiot because I didn't even Google this place before I went. So on the night of the date, I'm driving to this place, I put it into my GPS, and it's really weird because as soon as I see it in the GPS, it says that the place is closed. So I text my date and I'm like, hey, I just put this place into the GPS and it is telling me that it is actually closed. To which he replies, oh no, don't worry, they're really bad at updating their hours. This is the part where I should have just been like, oh hell no, and I should have canceled the date, but somehow I decided it would be a good idea to get in my car and drive 40 minutes to Yonkers for a date with a guy. So after 40 minutes of driving in traffic, I arrive at this place in Yonkers. I pull up to the building and I quickly realize that there is nobody in the parking lot and that indeed this business is really closed. Not to mention, my car is the only car in the parking lot. So I start to panic, and as I look behind me to put my car in reverse, I notice another car pull up. This car pulls up right beside me. I don't even look at the person sitting in the car. I just simply back up out of that parking lot as fast as I can and I get the heck out of there. The entire way home, I'm just looking in my rearview mirror to see if there was anyone behind me, and thankfully there was not. And the craziest part of all of this is when I got home, I went back onto that dating app and I could see that the profile had unmatched with me. I never got a chance to screenshot that profile. I never learned the guy's last name, but I can't tell you guys how many times I've heard this happening to girls on dating apps. It's not worth it. Just delete it for your own safety. And if you are going to be on dating apps, please always make sure to get the person's last name and to meet in a place that you are familiar with.
Listen to me. So listen to me. Huh? Listen. I'm gonna call you back in 30 minutes. And you better have answers.
So I met him on Hinge, and I wasn't really physically attracted to him, but I'm attracted to intelligent people, and apparently I give a lot of people chances that I shouldn't, and so I gave him a chance. We texted for about a week. I didn't get any red flags. It was just very surface level conversations. He invites me to dinner and a movie, and he asked me if I want to go see a scary movie. I told him I don't like scary movies, but I'll try anything once, thinking, you know, maybe we'll hit it off and I'll be scared and I'll be like, oh, like I'm scared, hold me. You know, I was like, that could be cute. So I agreed to go. And I show up to the restaurant and I text him, hey, I'm here. I then noticed that he's backed in a parking spot near the entrance and was just like watching me drive in, which was weird to me because when I get to a restaurant and go on a date, I just get out of my car and meet them at the front of the restaurant. Dinner was weird. He had this eerie vibe to him. We go to the movie theater and we're walking into the movie. And he stops me at the bottom of the steps before we go up and sit down. And he goes, did you say that you didn't like scary movies and you would try anything once? And I said, yeah. And he was like, that's so interesting that you say that because do you want to know something I've always wanted to try? And I was like, thinking he was going to say something sexual. I don't know. He goes, I've always wanted to try to put my hands around a woman's neck and watch the life leave her eyes. I'm sorry, what? I could not believe what he just said to me. He wasn't like joking. It was dead serious. And I just was like, what? And we get to our seat, we sit down. I'm literally so anxious at this point. The previews start and they're like scary movie previews. So it's like scary murderers on the screen and I'm about to like flip out. So I just get up and I say, I'm sorry, I can't do this. And he said, were you upset by what I said? And I said, honestly, yeah, it made me very uncomfortable. He goes, oh, honey, I wasn't talking about you. I would never hurt you. I would probably just want to hurt like, you know, a homeless person. So I made this post yesterday and it started getting some attention because I was posting where I was located and I was posting his employer and then I just commented his name, and I want to protect other women, but I also do not want to like agitate him or get sued for anything. So I am going to make an official complaint to his employer, and I'm going to do what I can to help make people aware that he might be a danger to the community.